Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, dealing with an abusive ex-boyfriend can be quite problematic. However, dealing with an invisible abusive ex-boyfriend is downright murder. Tonight's movie, The Invisible Man.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! Worst apocalypse ever! Episode number 5. Steamrolling our way around the merry mayhem massacring movie madness that is the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, coming off of last night's Annabelle comes home, the surprisingly light on Annabelle. Annabelle comes home. I thought, you know what? Let's keep on going with the more, how you would say, contemporary stuff. Actually, I have a movie that came out this year. I know, it's crazy that a movie came out this year, but there were, a couple months before the Armageddon hit. The apocalypse was upon us. And so tonight's movie, I am reviewing The Invisible Man, the movie that was intended to be part of the whole dark universe, I think, but that kind of died with the failures of, I, Frankenstein, Dracula, Untold, Unbound, whatever, and of course, The Mummy. Anyways, so what is The Invisible Man about? Well, it is about a woman named Cecilia who is in an abusive relationship with an ultra-rich, super intelligent, genius inventor guy. Anyways, she sneaks out on him in the middle of the night and leaves and is basically now in a complete shell, living with a friend and his daughter. Afraid of everything, afraid that he's going to find them. But alas, she gets news that he is dead. Her abusive boyfriend is dead. She can live her life. She slowly starts to do that. She interviews for a job and all this other good stuff. And then she starts suspecting that he may not be dead and that he actually has found her and that he is invisible. Yeah, anyways. So everyone, of course, thinks she's crazy when she starts to talk about these things. And of course, maybe she thinks she's losing her mind. And the whole thing is, well, will she be able to survive the clutches of the invisible intruder within her life? Will she get anyone to believe her? Will she be able to stop it and escape? Or will the invisible man have his way? So, let's get into those scores, shall we? Violence and gore, I am giving it a 2.5 out of 5. Look, there is a really good death scene in this movie. It comes out of nowhere. It is great. It is awesome. And it is bloody. The rest of it, not so much. A lot of physical violence, but not a lot of blood and gore and guts and stuff like that. So, I think, in horror standards, pretty average, pretty, nothing spectacular. 2.5 out of 5. Shock value, 3 out of 5. This movie really could have gotten into the upper echelons, but they didn't really go for a lot of shock moments in this movie. There wasn't a lot of jumps. I've expected a bit more. This was more about just creating unease and tension and to be all kind of psychological with it. And it does a great job with it. But yes, they could have had a bunch more shock moments. But it still has some great ones. So 3 out of 5. The plot, I am going to give this a 5 out of 5 because this is an interesting take on the whole invisible man type of situation. Look, I've seen about 3 different, maybe there's 4 different movies. I know, like the original Invisible Man, and then there's Memoirs of the Invisible Man, and of course Hollow Man, which is a pretty good movie. I really like that. The special effects in that one. And I think this is a unique take, less of trying to rule the world or run from the government and things like this. This is really about a woman who's trying to escape the specter of her abusive boyfriend, and it got meaning within that, plus the actual, invisible abusive boyfriend aspect. And I like the way they went with it. I think the plot does a good job of building the tension, developing the character, having you be sympathetic towards her plight. One of the main staples of movies is isolation, and one of the best and most unnerving forms of isolation is to have people not believe you. Having stuff happen to you and having people in help all around you, surrounded by help, but completely isolated from that help because they do not believe you. That is one of the more frightening forms of isolation one can get, because you're so close to hope. It's all there. It's just, all they have to do is just believe. And you're safe, or you have allies and your friends. I mean, but no one does. And you are so alone and so separated from any help because of that. And I think it's a brilliant way of isolating people in a movie. And I think the plot does a great job of not only building that tension, but also just, is he there? Is he not there? Is he there? The way the camera stays in certain areas, because you're like, oh, well, why did everyone moved out? Why is the camera there? Oh, he's probably still there. It's probably because he's there and stuff like that. There's some subtle things here and there, and I think it does a great and wonderful job of creating that tension. And this movie is definitely tense, and you are just, even when you think you're safe, you're not safe, and bam, things happen. So 5 out of 5. Acting, I'm also going to give it a 5 out of 5. I think everyone in this movie does a great job. They're all believable. They're all real, and they're all people. And you feel them. You feel especially the strength of the performance of the main character. She does a great job of just trying to overcome and try to keep it together. And I think she does a wonderful job. All around kudos. This is a greatly well put together movie. Good acting, 5 out of 5. Nudity, 0 out of 5, because, it's 2020 and we just can't have that in our horror movies anymore for some reason. And you are the Invisible Man. There's like a movie called The Invisible Kid, which is rated PG, and that still has tits in it. So, I'm like, how can you be not invisible? I know back in the 30s, whatever, Hays Code shit, whatever, 40s, whatever. I understand that stuff. But, whatever. Anyways, mini rant over. The movie doesn't need it, but still, it's like you're invisible. Come on. Anyways, 0 out of 5. Enjoyment factor, 4 out of 5. Look, this would have been a perfect movie if it did more with the invisible person, more jumps, more shocks, a bit more violence. In fact, it's more of a slow burn movie, and slow burn movies are great and fine, but I think in this case I wanted it to be like ratcheted up to 11, like right in the halfway mark. And because of that, I can't give it the perfect score, because even at the end, I enjoy the movie and I love the movie and it's great, and it's probably the best horror movie of 2020 for me so far. I haven't watched them all, so but for me it is. And the thing is, I just think that there was somewhat of a missed opportunity to provide much more scares in this movie, and so I have to ding it a point for that. Otherwise, 4 out of 5, pretty damn good. So anyways, my overall impression is a 4.5 out of 5. A nearly perfect movie. Just needs some more elements here and there to put it on the cream of the crop, the spectacular mode. The ending, you know, kind of see coming, kind of cheesy. Not cheesy, but kind of just, I don't know. Uninspired, it seemed. Uninspired, unoriginal. But anyways, still very good movie. Very awesome movie. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you watch it and watch it multiple times. It is that good. Like I said, probably the best horror movie of 2020 for me. Anyways, so that averages out to a 3.4 out of 5, which is pretty dang spectacular when it comes to averages, because a lot of movies kind of fail on a couple of the more exploitative scores. Anyways, so there you have it. The Invisible Man. What did you think? Tell me in the comment section below. Do you agree? Was it great? Do you think it was trash? Whatever. Anyways, rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And before too long, whatever, I will see you again. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm starting to get loopy already, and I'm only, what, 5 in? This is going to be one of those years, huh? Anyways, until then, everybody, remember, before you break up with your abusive boyfriend or girlfriend, make sure they don't have an invisibility cloak, because, you know, that can complicate your leaving and things like that. Or, if they do, steal it, which can make your leaving actually easier. Anyways, also, when you find the invisibility cloak, you probably should take it with you and do things with it. Like disappear. I don't know. Anyways, that's all I got. So, stay scary, Internet.